Aric stood tall, his eyes reflecting the vast skies his ancestors once ruled. He was the heir to the Eagle Nation, a young lord with immense valor. His wisdom seemed boundless. It was as if the very essence of the heavens flowed through his veins. The winds whispered tales of his forebears. They spoke of great deeds and soaring achievements.
I grew up hearing these stories. They shaped me, molded me into the leader I was destined to become. My heart beats with the rhythm of wings in flight.
The call of the divine continent echoed in his soul. It was a realm where the strongest lords vied for dominance. Aric knew his time had come. He was ready to prove himself worthy of his heritage.
I'm ready to claim my destiny.
The light faded. Aric blinked, his eyes adjusting to his new surroundings. Something was wrong. The air felt empty. There were no sounds of bustling troops, no chatter of citizens. He was alone. Panic gripped his heart. An error had occurred. He had arrived in the divine continent with nothing. No legions to command, no citizens to protect.
7 days, that's all I have. 7 days before the protection of the summoning fades. After that, I will be vulnerable. Easy prey for other lords or the dangers of this new world.
The clock was ticking, each moment precious. Aric clenched his fists. He refused to give in to despair.
I have my wits, my courage, and my heritage. I will turn this era into an empire.
Aric surveyed the land before him. It was wild and untamed, but he saw potential where others might see only challenges.
I will need allies, resources, power, and I need them fast.
The young lord set out with determination. Every step was purposeful. He would explore this new world, learn its secrets, find those who could stand with him.
Unity is strength. I will build that strength from the ground up.
His first goal was clear. He needed to tame the skies. The griffins that soared overhead caught his eye. They were majestic creatures, powerful, swift. If he could win their loyalty, they would be invaluable allies.
My resolve is unshakable. This is just another challenge to overcome.
The griffins circled overhead. Their keen eyes watched Aric's every move. He stood his ground, unafraid. Respect was key. These were not beasts to be dominated, but allies to be won. Aric raised his hand, a gesture of peace. Slowly, one griffin descended. Its wings stirred the air.
I see intelligence in its eyes and curiosity.
The young lord spoke softly, words of friendship and shared purpose. The griffin tilted its head, listening. Days passed. Aric worked tirelessly to earn the griffin's trust. He learned their ways, shared their food, slept under their wings. Slowly, a bond formed. The skies were no longer beyond his reach. He had found his first allies in this new world.
With the griffins by my side, my perspective changes. I can now see farther, plan better.
Aric's keen eyes spotted smoke rising in the distance. The griffins carried him swiftly to its source. There, nestled in the mountains, he found the iron mines. And with them, the gnomes. Small in stature but great in skill, they worked tirelessly.
The young lord approached with respect. He saw the value in their craft.
The gnomes were wary at first, but Aric's sincerity won them over. He spoke of mutual protection and shared growth. His words resonated with their pragmatic nature.
As days passed, Aric learned of the gnomes' unique skills. Their metalwork was unparalleled, their engineering a marvel to behold.
An alliance was formed. The gnomes would have Aric's protection. In return, they would lend their skills to his cause. Aric quickly learned the currency of the divine continent. Power flowed not just through armies, but through resources. Divine energy pulsed through the land. It was the lifeblood of this world. Those who controlled it thrived. Those who didn't perished.
With the gnomes' help, Aric began to tap into this energy. They built conduits and reservoirs. Every drop was precious. It fueled their crafts, empowered their defenses. The young lord watched as his territory began to pulse with this newfound power.
But divine energy was not the only resource. Information was equally valuable. Aric sent his griffin riders far and wide. They brought back news of other lords, of threats and opportunities.
Aric studied it all. He learned to navigate these treacherous waters. With each passing day, his grip on power grew stronger. An empire was rising.
Aric's network of allies grew. Among them, he found the twins. They were an odd pair, but their resources were invaluable. One owned a spawning pool. the other a portal for summoning. Together, they could provide Aric with the troops he so desperately needed.
The young lord approached them carefully. He knew the value of what they offered, but he also knew the danger of appearing weak. Aric presented himself as an equal, a partner, not a supplicant. His confidence, backed by his growing power, impressed the twins.
An agreement was struck. The spawning pool would provide Aric with basic troops.
The summoning portal would bring specialized units.
In return, Aric offered protection and a share in the prosperity of his growing empire.
With this alliance, Aric's position strengthened considerably. The pieces were falling into place. Aric stood atop a hill, surveying his domain. It was hard to believe how much had changed in so little time. Where once there was nothing, now a thriving community stood. The era that had left him alone was now a distant memory. Divine resources flowed through his territory. The gnomes' craftsmanship was evident everywhere. Buildings rose, strong and beautiful. Defenses stood firm, a testament to their skill and Aric's foresight. The skies were patrolled by his griffin riders, ever vigilant. The spawning pool and summoning portal were constantly active. Troops trained in the fields. Specialists honed their skills. Aric had built an army from nothing. It was small compared to other lords, but it was loyal, determined, ready to face any challenge. They were the foundation of an empire. Aric knew that in this world, power often lay in artifacts, ancient relics imbued with incredible abilities. He set out to acquire them, not through conquest, but through trade. It was a delicate dance of diplomacy and negotiation. He sent envoys far and wide. Their mission was clear: find artifacts that could bolster their defenses, enhance their capabilities. Aric's growing reputation opened doors. Lords who once would have ignored him now listened. They saw the potential in aligning with this rising power. Trades were made. A shield that could deflect magical attacks. A sword that could cut through the strongest armor. A crown that enhanced the wearer's wisdom. Each artifact was carefully chosen, its purpose clear in Aric's grand strategy. Trust was built, relationships were forged. The artifacts were valuable, but the connections made in acquiring them were priceless. As the seventh day approached, Aric reflected on his greatest achievement. It wasn't the territory he'd claimed or the army he'd built. It was the diverse community he'd united. Gnomes worked alongside humans. Griffin riders soared over troops summoned from distant realms. Aric had created more than an empire. He'd built a sanctuary, a place where all were welcome, regardless of their origin, where skills were valued and differences celebrated. This unity was their greatest strength. Each group brought unique skills, perspectives, and knowledge. Together, they were far more than the sum of their parts. Aric fostered this spirit of cooperation, knowing it would be crucial in the challenges ahead. As night fell on the sixth day, Aric addressed his people. He spoke of the journey they'd undertaken together, of the challenges they'd overcome, and of the future they would forge. The seventh day dawned.
The protection of the summoning was fading. Aric stood at the forefront of his assembled forces. The air crackled with tension and anticipation. This was the moment of truth, the day they would truly claim their place in this world. Aric's mind raced through all they had accomplished, from solitude to solidarity, from era to empire. Every alliance forged, every resource gathered, every artifact acquired, it all led to this moment. He felt the weight of responsibility, but also the strength of unity. The young lord raised his voice. He spoke of courage, of determination, of the bonds that united them. His words ignited a fire in every heart. They were no longer just survivors of an era. They were the shapers of their own destiny.